Oh, hello everybody. How's it going? In this video, we're looking at one of Chris Ramsay's top 5 favorite playing cards from 2018. The Hype MixTape Your Turn, My Turn, Volume 2 deck. As you'll see later, the name of these cards is a little bit unclear. But first, let's jump right into the cards and see the deck in action. And we're back. So a little about these cards. This deck was released at Cardistry Con 2018 in Hong Kong, created by a guy named Michael Stern, nickname My Turn. The design for this deck takes several pieces of other cardistry decks and mixes them together, hence the name MixTape. Actually, if you look online, it's extremely unclear as to what the real name of this deck is. One website says My Turn MixTape Volume 2, another website says Hype Volume 2, a third website says Deck Volume 2, Rose Gold, and Chris Ramsay calls them MixTape Volume 2. Even more confusing, if you were trying to determine the name of this deck you found somewhere, it says Your Turn on there, which is definitely not part of the name. And so because of this, I figured pretty much no one will ever know what to search for to find this deck, so I just called this video Chris Ramsay's favorite deck. This deck is actually fairly rare. There were only around 2,500 printed, depending which website you look at. Just like the name, it's a little ambiguous what the truth is here. LOL. So anyway, let's take a look at the cards. And as you can see, the tuck case is completely rose gold all the way around. No text, no embossing, even on the bottom, it's completely blank. The only detail is this sticker here that says Your Turn, Volume 2. We have the standard pull tab here. Oh wow, it actually worked this time. That's amazing. It actually looks even nicer now without that cellophane on there. It's really a pretty color. It's got a really beautiful seal here, but it's time to open it up. And taking the cards out of the box. Nothing else inside. So taking a look at the deck design up close, you can see it's an abstract art type design, a mashup of different decks as I mentioned earlier. In fact, it came from 4 different decks. I'll show them here for comparison. The most obvious is the Cardistry Con Entry 02 deck. You can see those wavy lines going back and forth. Second is the brush deck from Dealer's Grip. You can see that here as well. And lastly, 2 decks from Anyone Worldwide, the dot playing cards and the checkerboard playing cards. I think it looks pretty cool. It's not the most amazing design I've ever seen, but they're pretty nice. I feel about somewhere in the middle on these. The fronts of the cards are completely normal except for the Ace of Spades, which says in fine print, Hype Playing Cards. But all the rest of the cards are just like a normal deck of bicycle playing cards. No customization whatsoever, no variations in the color, nada, nothing, zilch. Which I guess is okay, but I actually kind of prefer to have a little more customization on the cards. But how do they handle? Well, let's check out the thumb fan first. That looks pretty nice. And because they're so colorful, if we try in the other hand, we'll get a different result. Let's see. Actually, I even prefer this side more. So if you're left-handed, that's an advantage for you. These cards were printed by the United States Playing Card Company, so as you would expect, they handle pretty decently. Dribbles. Shuffling. Card springs. They all feel pretty standard. Let's check out the Pharaoh. This deck was supposedly traditionally cut. But I have no problem Pharaohing it that way. Let's try the way that's benefited by traditional cut decks, which is this direction. Huh. Well, I don't know. It says traditionally cut on the website, but maybe it's not. Who knows? Who cares? Let's go ahead and check out that giant fan. That's pretty cool, I have to admit. I like these colors. It's like an explosion. So what about the extra cards of the deck? Well, I'm glad you asked. All 4 of the extra cards include the standard back design for this deck. And the first one says, Volume 2, in memory of Monty Stern. Which I guess this is like his dog died and he made this card to remember the dog. To me it seems a little strange. And it's like a very personal thing, like why would anyone else care about your pet? You know, but this deck is being shared with everyone. Anyway, the next one is really cool. I like this. It's the circle game. You know, if you make this sign below your waist and you get a friend to look at it, then you get to punch them in the shoulder. So it's pretty cool, pretty funny. I guess you could have this deck in the cards and be doing some cardistry, and then have this card come up to the top and have your friend look at it, and then maybe you get to punch them, if you ask nicely. Next up, we have My Turn Was Here. I think these are jokers because they both have the same symbol in the corner. And this is like a guarantee card like a bicycle used to do with their playing cards. And it has a kind of funny joke on here. You can read that, but basically they're telling you if you have a problem with your deck, you should put it beneath your pillow, and they will somehow replace it like the Tooth Fairy. Another thing worth noting is the back design is mostly symmetrical. You'll get the same appearance on each side except for this red dot. So the cool thing is in fans you're not really going to notice any asymmetry. It's going to look the same because you'll never actually fan wide enough to get to the center of the card. So anyway, them's the cards. I guess my final opinion about them is pretty favorable. I would say like 4 out of 5 stars. The box is really nice. My girlfriend saw it and was immediately enamored and thought it looked quite beautiful and luxurious, maybe kind of iPhone-esque. And yeah, the cards are nice. I would have preferred if the faces were more customized, because it's pretty much standard cards with this back. This is my first cardistry deck I've ever owned, aside from the Verts deck. But the cardistry decks are becoming more and more popular, obviously. And yeah, it's pretty cool. For me, it's not my favorite, but it's a fun deck. I had a little bit of trouble with the Pharaohing. I don't know why, if it was just me. But overall, the cards feel good. And yeah, I think they're cool and fun. So anyway, smash like, smash subscribe, smash a comment into the bottom. You could smash a comment, maybe tell me what you think about the cards, what tutorial you would like to see me make, or just how you're feeling this week. Anything is acceptable, really. And I'll see you in the next video.